Larry Kudlow, National Economic Council Director, is with us now. Larry, welcome back. It's always good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Sue. Appreciate it.
The president played hardball. Did he beat up the Canadians to win this one?
Well, I wouldn't say beat up, but sometimes hardball works. And, you know, he's been steadfast in his view. NAFTA had to be fixed. It's almost 25 years old. It's a different economic and trading world, and it needs to be updated, modernized, the whole thing. And
Larry,
he stood strong.
The president's objective with all these negotiations is to increase trade, get more cross-border flows of goods and services. So can you tell us in what way this deal with Canada increases trade between the two countries? How does it do it?
Well, you know, in a general sense, when you look at the market openings for dairy farmers, wheat, manufacturing, automobiles, and so forth, what you've got here is a preservation and strengthening of the supply chains, which is what businesses were really worried about. That was the heart of NAFTA, you know, tariff-free supply chains. And I think not only has that been preserved, it's actually been expanded. And I think the U.S. Farm community and the manufacturing community benefited. I think all three countries benefited from that. And I would also say it sends an important message to China, where we're trying to negotiate on trade. North America is together, and the USA is moving with Europe. We're making progress with Europe and Japan. So, yes, all these things are designed to lower barriers. Tariff barriers, non-tariff barriers, subsidy barriers, state-owned enterprise barriers. All this is good and is all written into the NAFTA contract.
Well, now that you've lined up Canada, Mexico, South Korea, talking with Japan, talking with the Europeans, this is putting pressure on China. Would you say that a deal with China is imminent?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think there's discussions going on, but no, I wouldn't say it was imminent. I would say, frankly, as the president has said, he's not been satisfied with the progress of those talks. Really hasn't been much progress recently. He has admiration for President Xi, and they may perhaps meet at the G20 in Buenos Aires later this year. But no, nothing is imminent on China, but we are willing to talk if it's substantial and significant and serious, always willing to talk.
In the talks with China so far, has President Trump or the negotiating team made any concession of any kind of moving back, changing our position to be a little more accommodative? Have we done that at all, or is it hardball, 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 all the way down the line?
Well, Stuart, I don't think we're, you know, the conversations have not been sufficiently detailed for me to make a comment on that. It's not about concessions or accommodations. At this point, I'm not sure what it is. We've made our asks on, you know, market openings and tariff reductions and so forth, on technology transfers and IP theft. We've made our asks,
can I ask you, Larry,
but we
what did you
haven't
ask
had
him to
anything
do?
back.
When it comes to this technology transfers and the theft of our intellectual property, what are you asking China to do?
Well, there are a number of things, but one of the key things, too, is ownership. United States companies operating in China, instead of joint ventures where the Chinese own the majority, we should own the majority. In fact, we should own all of it, because that's where the technology, the forced technology transfers occur. They're bored, they own the company, you have to put your blueprint on the table. That's unacceptable. Why should we give up our technological jewels, our innovation, and so forth? That ask has not been satisfied, not nearly as far as I know.
Okay. New York Times, Paul Krugman, he's got a new column. It's out today, and it's called "The Economic Future Isn't What It Used to Be." He says we're in the midst of the great shortfall, that economic growth isn't nearly as strong as it should be 10 years after the Great Recession. Your reaction to that, please, Larry?
Well, look, he and his friends had 8 years to work on it. Didn't do so well. President Trump comes in. Mr. Krugman automatically declares what, a permanent recession and bear market in stocks? I mean, he's a never-Trumper, that's putting it mildly. Look, the state of our economy is pretty darn good. I mean, I think any objective empirical view, when you take a look at jobs, unemployment, wages, you know, take-home pay, fatter paychecks, blue-collar jobs, Business investment is booming for the first time in maybe nearly 20 years. After tax, after inflation income is rising, and the GDP numbers overall are rising. We're running better than 3%. And, you know, all these things, they said it couldn't be done. I mean, that's really, to me, the biggest story of the year, Stu. I got to tell you this. Maybe you've heard me say this before. The reality is we're in an economic boom that most people, especially our critics, said would be impossible.
The last one, if we
lower taxes for individuals, corporations, and small business, rolling back regulations, energy freedom.
But you would agree, Larry, you would agree, surely, that when you're expanding at a 3 to 4% growth rate, you shouldn't be having a near $1 trillion deficit.
Well, I think yes, but look, I accept that, and we spend too much. But look, growth is going to bring that deficit down quite a bit. I mean, the share of the deficit to GDP, which is really the deficit burden, you wait, that's going to come down because the growth rate is coming up. Real growth is going to be better than 3%. Nominal growth, from which revenues are derived, is probably going to come in 5.5%. Those are big numbers. More than any other single variable, those numbers bring the deficits down, and they bring the deficit burden down. So I would stay with that. I mean, look, to Mr. Krugman and the others, you know, I respect them, I suppose. The reality is their forecasts have been wrong. They had their chance with big government regulating and taxing and spending. We've taken a different path. We're free enterprise. We reward success. That's what President Trump has done, and we are growing big time. They could, once in a while, look at the data, Stu, and acknowledge, at least for the moment, the United States is doing rather well. And by the way, good trade deals help us even more.
It's highly unlikely that that will be the lead story in the New York Times tomorrow morning, sir, but, you know, nice try. Larry Kudlow, always a pleasure. Thanks for being with us, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Stu.
All right.